I was too excited to go home by myself. I walked my bike so I could go home with Andrew and Fuchsia, and we laughed and we talked about how great we were. But as we got closer to the house, I remembered what my mother had said. Maybe you've had that feeling too, like, I don't want to get in trouble. Does anyone have a watch? I asked. Nope, said Fuchsia. I do, said Andrew. It's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock! How did it get to be 7 o'clock? I'm in trouble, I said. I should have been home at 4:30. You're in big trouble, said Andrew. You'd better think of something fast. Then Andrew and Fuchsia crossed the street to go to their home. I was just about half a block from mine and thinking fast. Chapter 4. Turning the doorknob. I was dragged inside by the force of the door being pulled open. Mom, Dad, Bobby, and my great-grandma, Alice the Great, crowded together in the hall. This was worse than I expected, and I expected it to be bad. My father's voice boomed above the rest. Where have you been? Are you in trouble, Bobby said. Give the boy a chance to talk, said his mother. Yes, give him a chance, said Alice the Great. Mom started talking again. When you were late, we went to the pool to look for you. No one saw you there all day. David Chow said you never showed up. We were so worried. Give the boy a chance to talk. Yes, give the boy a chance. There was a sudden silence. I could even hear Dad's watch tick. I could hear the goldfish move the pebbles in the tank. I could hear my heart beat. How does he feel? Scared. Scared and nervous. Have you felt that way before with your parents?
Yes.
Yes. You know something's coming.
Yes.
I was riding my bike to the pool, I said. Yes, said Dad. I was riding past the basketball courts. Yes, said Mom. When a man in a car called, "Hey, kid," so I went over to the car. How could you, Bobby said. Ooh, is this the truth?
No. Pretty big.
Let's see what he says. So Bobby's talking, or the boy's talking, he said, he asked me to go to Harry's ice cream shop. So I told him, but he didn't understand the directions, so I told him I would show him, and I got in the car. How could you? Said Bobby. Ooh, I see on your faces we're feeling a little, how do we feel for him? Sorry. You're a little nervous for your character, right? Okay. What did you do with your bicycle, Dad asked. It was a van. He put it in the van. I sat in the front seat and gave him directions. But he made a left turn when I told him to make a right turn. And then I started to worry I shouldn't be in this car, van, with strangers. So when he stopped at the red light, I quickly opened the door and ran home. What about your bike? Asked Mom. Oh, I ran to the basketball courts where I left my bike and then raced home.
You said you left it in the van.
Oh, some people are really using their critical thinking to go, this is not going to... Let's see what happens. What color did you say this van is, said Dad. Green. And what make, Dad asked? He walked to the phone. I don't know, I said. Who are you calling? Officer Nuzzy, said Dad. Who are they calling? Officer is what?
Police.
The police, right? But nothing happened. I'm okay, I said. Something could have happened, little Bill, Mom said. Officer Nuzzy will want to know about this. I had to tell the truth. I didn't want to repeat my big lie to Officer Nuzzy. Nothing happened, I said. I made it all up. We knew you were lying, Bobby said. First you told us you put your bike in the van, and then you told us you left it at the basketball courts. Anybody else catch that?
Yeah.
You can imagine what happened next. Dad was mad, Mom was mad, Alice the Great was mad, and Bobby was glad that he wasn't in my shoes. That's okay.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You're not supposed to see that. Yep, you did a good save. Okay, there we go. Ice track here. Eyes on me. Uh-oh. Try it again with quality. Eyes on me. That means your eyes are on me. If you're looking at the camera, you're not showing quality. Okay. Oh, what's going to happen? Well, you can imagine what happened next. Dad was mad, Mom was mad. Oh, I got that. Chapter 5. You know what? Mom, Dad, and Alice were right to be mad at me. I made a big mistake. Lying is a bad idea. So he's being punished now, she says. I was copying The Boy Who Cried Wolf when Mom and Dad walked into my room. I was glad to see them. I was very worried about something. In this story, the grown-ups stop trusting the boy. They don't come when he needs them, and the wolf eats his sheep. What do you think he's worried about? Point to your partner. Make a prediction, an inference. 2, using what you know about the boy who cried wolf. What is he worried about? Okay, go with your partner, tell him what you think he's worried about. Eyes on me. Okay, raise your hand to share with the class what you and your partner talked about. Yeah. Are the police still going to come? They know that he's lying. He's being punished. Is it that he's worried the police are going to come? No. Marion, put your arms out of your face. Raise your hand. Marion.
What was the question?
What is he worried about? He says he's copying The Boy Who Cried Wolf. He's being punished, and he feels worried. He says in the story, the grown-ups stop trusting the boy. They don't come when he needs them, and the wolf eats his sheep. Mary, what is he worried about?
He's worried about the mom, his dad,
In the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the grown-ups stop trusting the boy. What is the boy in our story worried about? What does he think the grown-ups are going to do, Marion?
I think the parents like be there.
They won't be there. So they will stop what? You're right. They won't be. Yeah, they'll stop trusting him. Good. He says, "Well, will you ever start trusting me again?" He asked his mom and dad. Mom and dad looked at each other. Then they looked back at me. "I trust you," said Mom. "I trust you," said Dad. And they gave me a double hug. I'm a very lucky boy, and that's the truth. So, was little Bill responsible in this story?
No.
Agree? Disagree?
No.
Okay. Ashley, can you tell us about? Actually, I'm sorry, Juan Diego. Can you tell us about that? Clasp your hands like this.
Little Bill was responsible in the story because he told his mom that he would come at 4:30 to dinner, but he did it because he went somewhere else and where he told his mom he was going to his uncle, but he did it because he
Yeah. Okay, so he said he was supposed to be somewhere. He was supposed to do one thing and he did something else. Right. What motivated him to lie? What motivated him to lie? Why did he lie, right? When I ask about motivation, character motivation, why do they do the things they do? Why did little Bill lie to his mom and dad? Jason? Yeah. So he lied because he didn't want to get in trouble, right? So Jason, what motivated him to tell the truth finally? Why did he decide to tell the truth? Why did he say, okay, and nothing happened? Why did he decide to do that? And what would that have caused to happen, you think? What do you think would have happened if the mom and dad called the police? Do you think that would have made things better or worse? Worse. Geez, can you imagine if they called the police? And then in your mind you can think about, oh, what would have happened if they would have called the police? He would have had to tell more of the lie, and then maybe he would have gotten caught by the police. And, oh my gosh, what a big mess, right? So what motivated him to tell the truth, Jason? Yeah, okay. I think for time we're going to run out of this, and we've asked a little bit about this. Just show and agree or disagree. Do your mom and dad, do they think you're responsible? Do your mom and dad think you're responsible? Agree or disagree? Do you run errands? What's an errand?
I don't want to.
Kira? Jobs, right? Little jobs. Do you run errands for your mom and dad? You do little jobs for them? Maybe you do the dishes, you help with your sister? Okay. Awesome. So here's like this super awesome part you guys are going to like today. This is motivation verification. So, right here? Movies. Who's seen Frozen? Raise your hand. If you have not seen Frozen and you get the Frozen group, you can ask the other students what that's about. So, in the movie Frozen, Prince Hans pretends to be in love with Princess Anna, right?
Yeah.
So, if you're in the Frozen group, you're going to talk about why Prince Hans did that. What motivated him to do that? And then I want you to talk about, oops, we can't do our movies until all students have their pockets on their chair, their feet on the floor, and their eyes checked here. Awesome. So, in movies and fairy tales, what often happens to characters who lie? You're going to be thinking about maybe what happened to Hans and what happens to characters that lie. This one, what's this movie, everyone? What's the movie? And I know you read this with Miss Martinez. So why does listen to the question, this is critical thinking. Why does Ariel lie about being a mermaid? And it is not saying something. So what is it that she didn't tell? She didn't tell the prince?
Truth.
The truth about what, Haley? Right, so she doesn't tell the prince that she's a mermaid. So is not saying something the same thing as lying? Ooh, critical thinking. Does this? Good. And the Spider-Man question is not about responsibility or lying. It's about responsibility. So, how is Spider-Man responsible, and why is he motivated to help people? Let's talk about it in your group. And what's this one? Aladdin. So, eyes back here. In the movie Aladdin, Aladdin tells Princess Jasmine that he's a prince. Is he really a prince? No. So what motivated Aladdin to lie to Jasmine about being a prince? And why isn't Jasmine angry with him at the end of the movie, right? At the end of the movie they get married. So obviously she didn't just say that mad at him. You're going to talk about that. Wreck-It Ralph? Who's seen Wreck-It Ralph? Okay, hands down. In Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph wants to be a hero. How are heroes responsible, and how did Ralph learn to be responsible in the movie? And last one? Mulan. So in Mulan,